I believe the safest way to do this is to do it from the top first. And go ahead and take your flathead screwdriver and wedge it between here where the corner of the piece is. And go ahead and try and take it out from here first. And just work your way along to the side. And once you do that, you can go ahead and just pull it out. Now you don't need to unplug this or anything, just kind of have it out of the way. And once you do that, there's gonna be 2 screws on the top, and one here and one on the other side. And we're just gonna go ahead and use our Phillips screwdriver for this. And if you want, you could use a size 8mm socket, but this also has a Phillips pattern on these bolts, and so they can just come out with a screwdriver. Now that everything's out, we can just slide it out. And we're just trying to get to the navigation screen. And so underneath here, there's gonna be screws, one on this side and also one on the other. So we're going to take these screws out first. Now after you do that, the very last few screws that we have to take out are on the side. And there's going to be 2 on the side right here, and 1 right here, and 1 down here. And there's also going to be 2 on the other side. Go ahead and just start taking these out. Now that you have all the screws off, this is just going to pop off. You can see like that. And the navigation screen is going to have some plugs in it. And these plugs are pretty easy to take off. It's just some tabs. Push down on this tab, pull at the same time. Same thing for the rest of them. Now they have everything out. This is the navigation screen. You can see it has all the settings here on the side. You're gonna go ahead and grab your replacement navigation screen. And the way you're gonna wanna put it back on is we're just gonna start with the plugs. And everything should just snap in. You should hear it click. And we're gonna go ahead and put this back in the bracket. You want to make sure everything lines up. All the holes on the side where you thread the screws in, you want to make sure those line up on the side. You also want to make sure the holes where the screws screw in right here on the bottom line up as well. And once you make sure that's all check, you're going to want to start putting the screws for the bracket back in. And the screws for the bracket should look like this, small screws. They're actually bolts with the Phillips pattern in it, so I call them screws. And I'm just going to put these in. Now after you do that, go ahead and just put this back in its spot. And one thing you want to make sure of over here on this side, as you can see, it has a hole right here and a little tab right here on the side. You want to make sure that this little point goes inside the hole right here. And that's how you're going to know for sure that you put it in place. And once you make sure everything checks out, you can go ahead and start putting the bolts back in right here and on the other side, and also the two up here on the top. I'm going to go ahead and just start with the ones on top because they're easier to get to. Now for these bolts over here on the side, they're a little bit harder to put back in, but you just want to start from the bottom. And if you can, kind of move this out of the way. Try and get that in its spot. So they're a little bit trickier. Especially because you have to come at an angle for them.